Good morning. This morning, I'd like to share with you a beautiful meditation written by U.S. Anderson in his book, 3 Magic Words. So I invite you just to prepare yourself, to be comfortable, to relax into your chair or into your bed or the floor, wherever you are. Just allow your body to be and allow your mind to focus on these beautiful words. So relaxing now, breathing, listening gently, without any kind of struggle to understand or analyze the words. Just allow them to flow over you and through you. I know and recognize my oneness with all things. I know that all form and all circumstance are the creation of an infinite intelligence that is in and around me. I know that all things are the result of conception and desire, that my world is ordered according to my own thoughts and convictions. Therefore, I concentrate on harmony. I see nothing but order and constructiveness all about me. I do not accept thoughts of destructiveness and disharmony. In my friends, my loved ones, my fellow workers, I see nothing but cooperation and assistance. I know that we all seek the same answers and the same goals. I know that each person must follow a different path toward his vision, and I understand the searchings and the copings of everyone I know and see. I have sympathy and tolerance for all things and all people. I know that inasmuch as I help others, I help myself. In my brother's eye, there is my own soul. In my friend's smile, there is my own humor. In my neighbor's sorrow, there is my own loss. I have compassion and understanding for all things. For this life in which I have my being strives for understanding of itself. I deny error. It is simply progress toward truth. I know that it is impossible to fail when faith is present. I do not order things to be made in my time or in my place. but trust the universal mind in its own great knowledge of the time and the place and the need and the way. Each moment of each day brings my life closer to realization. The objects of my work are being accomplished this very minute. Success and harmony, peace and confidence are mine. And so if there's something you dream of achieving, some goal you have in your mind, listen again to these words. I do not order things to be made in my time or in my place, but trust the universal mind in its own great knowledge of the time and the place and the need and the way. Each moment of each day brings my life closer to realization. The objects of my work are being accomplished this very minute. Now let us go back to the phrase, I know and recognize my oneness with all things. All form and all circumstances are the creation of an infinite intelligence that is in and around me. And therefore, with all things, I know and recognize my oneness with all things. With birds, with animals, with trees. Oneness with all things. Flowers, clouds, rivers and lakes, all people. I know and recognize my oneness with all people. So let us bring into our minds now all people who are oppressed, all people who are hungry, all people who are grieving. Feel our oneness with them, which gives us the ability to share with them our compassion, our love. And bring into mind now all people who are joyous in relationship, who are successful in their life pursuits, who are experiencing abundance and health. And recall that we are connected with them as well. And we share their joy, opening ourselves and allowing their joy to flow into us, to empower us, to awaken us, and enliven us, so that we may experience joy and pass it on. Because all people are connected. All positive thoughts and emotions that we share into common mind are available to all people. I have compassion and understanding for all things. For this life in which I have my being strives for understanding of itself. And so it is. I invite you now to slowly and gently bring your awareness back to time and place. Feel your breath entering your body. Feel your body's weight in the chair. Feel your neck and your shoulders and your ears. Perhaps wiggle your fingers. And when you are ready, open your eyes and bring yourself into a preparedness for music with Michael Trisling, followed by our service at 10:30. Thank you again for being with me. Namaste.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Welcome, everybody. Welcome joining us on YouTube and Facebook or watching the recording. Welcome to Unity, Vancouver Island. It's a great pleasure to be here with all of you. And let's begin by acknowledging the beautiful territories of the Snuneymuxw Coast Salish people, this land, this island, Canada, thanking them for their years, many years of guidance and nurturing the land. And for this, we are grateful. We say Haichka.
Imagine there's no heaven. It's easy if you try. No hell below us. Above us only sky. Imagine all the people living for today. Imagine there's no countries. It isn't hard to do. Nothing to kill or die for. And no religion too. Imagine all the people living life in peace. You may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. I hope someday you will join us, and the world will be as one. Imagine no possessions. I wonder if you can. No need for greed or hunger. A brotherhood of man. Imagine all the people sharing all the world. You may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. I hope someday you will join us, and the world will live as one. So just as a heads up, a lot of this set this week is actually all new music. So feel free to listen if you want, to sing along. We're all going to be learning in real time. It's going to be fabulous. Sound good? So this next song is called Go Light Your World. There is a candle in every soul, some brightly burning, some dark and cold. And there is a spirit who brings a fire, ignites a candle, and makes his home. Carry your candle, run to the darkness my frustrated brother. Yeah, see how he's tried to light his own candle some other way. See now your sister, she's been robbed and lied to, still holds a candle without a flame. So carry your candle, see down the darkness, seek out the lonely, the tired and worn. Hold out your candle for all to see it. Take your candle and go light your world. Take your candle and go light your world. 'Cause we are a family whose hearts are blazing. Let's raise our candles and light up the sky, knowing that spirit and our inner wisdom makes us a beacon in darkest times. So carry your candle, run to the darkness, seek out the hopeless, deceived and poor. Hold out your candle for all to see it. Take your candle and go light your world. Take your candle and go light your world. Beautiful. Nice work.
Yeah, let's affirm our candles, each of us. I invite you all to take a moment now, and if you're comfortable, close your eyes and call upon the divine spirit within, the spirit that surrounds us, the light that enfolds each of us, the love that we all share together. Let's hold that within ourselves, ready to share and affirm that in all who we come across, all the beautiful souls that we see in this world, acknowledging and affirming their spirit, their divineness, their divinity, their love. We hold this in our hearts, and so it is. And join with me the vision of unity, a world powerfully transformed through the growing movement of shared spiritual awakening. And today I will read from the prophet Khalil Gibran, and I figured since we are entering the season of Christmas and that time of year, then said a rich man, "Speak to us of giving." And he answered, "You give but little when you give of your possessions. It is when you give of yourself that you truly give. For what are your possessions but things you keep and guard for fear you may need them tomorrow? And tomorrow, what shall tomorrow bring to the overprudent dog burying bones in the trackless sand as he follows the pilgrims to the holy city? And what is fear of need but need itself? Is not dread of thirst when your well is full, the thirst that is unquenchable? There are those who give little of the much which they have, and they give it for recognition, and their hidden desire makes their gifts unwholesome. And there are those who have little and give it all. These are the believers in life and the bounty of life, and their coffer is never empty. There are those who give with joy, and that joy is their reward. And there are those who give with pain, and that pain is their baptism. And there are those who give and know not pain in giving, nor do they seek joy, nor give with mindfulness of virtue. They give as in yonder valley the myrtle breathes its fragrance into space. Through the hands of such as these, God speaks, and from behind their eyes he smiles upon the earth. It is well to give when asked, but it is better to give unasked through understanding. And to the open-handed, the search for one who shall receive is joy greater than giving. And is there aught you would withhold? All you have shall someday be given. Therefore, give now, that the season of giving may be yours and not your inheritors. Thank you.
Good morning. And good morning, Victoria. Good morning, Comox. Good morning, Courtney. Good morning, Cumberland. Good morning, Port Hardy. Good morning, Port Alberni, and everybody else in between. Thank you for joining us. I'm actually full to overflowing already this morning. Joshua, when we realized Joshua was going to be singing today, humored me with learning a bunch of new songs, and I thank you so much for that. Go Light Your World is a song that always brings me to tears, and I thought since it's Advent and candle lighting, we could start with that. And then Thomas, the prophet, my desert island book. If I had one book in the world to choose, that would be, and that, of course, is one of my favorite readings from us. So, Advent, the Advent in us. What does that mean, the Advent in us? Well, Advent means to come, or coming towards. It's the coming, it's the beginning, if you will. So in a way, we are always adventing, aren't we? Because we're always becoming more of who we are, more of ourselves, more of what we can be, and more of, if you like the terminology, more of the Christ in us. And to us, Christ means the spark of divinity, and that is present in every one of us. And of course, how do we advent or increase our awareness of that spark of divinity? Well, we do it by our thinking. And that's why we had the think song just ahead of this. I think we should do that one every week myself. And we discipline our minds and how we're thinking so that we're thinking creatively and consciously instead of just randomly and, capricious, whimsical stuff. So we talk about the power of our mind and that our minds are creating, and we talk about that often that minds are actually creating our reality and our experience of life. The mind rules, if you will. But how powerful is our mind? Is it all powerful? So we just sang the song, When You Rule Your Mind. What happens when you don't rule your mind? Does your mind rule you sometimes a little bit? Just runs on all by itself? So you rule your mind. Well, what part of you is it that's ruling your mind? What part of you rules your mind? Interesting, right? So look at computers. They can do so much. One computer can do so much more than any one human being can do, yes? But what is it that makes the computer go? What is it that tells the computer what to know and what to do? One person, one human mind. Yeah. Computers can calculate. They can store billions of facts and retrieve them instantly. But a computer does not understand what it's doing. I think I've told you before, every morning while I'm eating my breakfast, I play a game of bridge against the computer. And the computer has programmed the people to play bridge, and it's given them a couple of rules. 1, always leave the highest card in your hand, and 2, never call trumps. Trumps, the lowest trump card, if you don't know, is higher than the highest card of any other suit. And I have seen so many hands where our opponents are being defeated, and they end up with the ace of trump in one hand and the king of trump in the other hand, wasted on the same last trick. And when they're leading the highest card from their hand, that lets me know where things are. So if somebody leads the jack of diamonds, I know they haven't got the king or the queen, so I know where to look. It's silly. And I win almost every time. So the computers are limited by what humans can tell them to do. And our minds are the same. Our minds need something that tells us to go, tells us what to do, to give it direction. Otherwise, it would just run on and on. So obviously, it needs you. But what part of you programs your mind? Not your body, surely. It can't be your mind, because your mind would be programming your mind. But what else is there of you? What is there? Your heart, Ken says. Your heart, your essence, your being, your soul, perhaps. That's the part of you, your higher wisdom. I took an online ethics class this week as part of a thing that Unity leaders are required to do every year to keep us ethical. And Reverend Cynthia Vermillion Foster gave us this quote from Albert Schweitzer. Ethics is none other than reverence for life. Reverence for life affords me my fundamental principle of morality, namely that good consists in maintaining, assisting, and enhancing life, and to destroy, to harm, or to hinder life is evil. So that was the essence of Albert Schweitzer, and that's what programmed his mind. That's where he was coming from. That's where his essence was. He was living from ethics. He didn't need a code of ethics to tell him what was right and wrong. When he lived from his essence, his truth, he always knew what was ethical. So he didn't need a code. He didn't need rules. Speaking of rules, I worked in property management for many years, and I had a boss who used to say, rules are there in case you need them. And yeah, and I've kind of adopted that because, if you spend a whole lot of time worrying and fussing about the rules and regulations and how it's supposed to be done right, it can be counterproductive because it takes a lot of time. And also because you know intuitively what is right and what is wrong, do you not? And if you're not sure, then go look up the rules, But it's your inner wisdom, So anytime you're not sure, you go look up the rules. But otherwise, you trust your intuition and you act from that truth. And sometimes you realize that the rules are wrong. Sometimes the rules are wrong. What do you act from them? Are you obedient to the rules or from your essence, which knows which is right? And sometimes rules just aren't enough. It's just not enough. Sometimes it doesn't cover, you have to rely on something else. And I want to give you an example of that. Was one of the properties we managed was a mobile home park. And there was a little old house in the park which was rented to a young man who, he was a bit of a problem. So in addition to taking apart his motorcycle and fixing it on the living room rug, we used to get phone calls from one of his neighbors frequently, and she was a very beautiful but not too bright young woman. And she would phone me regularly and say, "He's looking at me." So I would politely go down and ask him for his cooperation in following the rules of his tenancy agreement. But there was no rule that says thou shalt not look at thy neighbor. So it wasn't rules that this young man needed. It was an attitude adjustment, yes? An essence adjustment, an adjustment to his ethics. And that can come about in many ways. And one day what happened was my boss came down with me, and he took him aside and he walked him right here, shoulder to shoulder. They walked up and down. And I don't know everything he said, but I know one thing he said was, "If you don't smarten up, I'm going to have my cousin Jumbo come and break both your legs." And that worked. That worked. So sometimes our attitude adjustment can come about because of fear, and sometimes it can come about because of love. And I have absolutely no doubt that if I had been loving enough, if I had been able to hold this young man to the rules with enough love, like Emmett Fox says, there's nothing that cannot be healed with enough love. If I had been able to achieve that much love, he would have obeyed my rules, right? But in those days, I didn't know the power of love. So I only knew about the power of rules, and that's what I relied on. But sometimes those rules are just not enough. And sometimes the power of mind is not enough. Sometimes the power of mind needs that reverence to keep its power directed towards the thing we revere. Yeah, we need to keep it harnessed. The thing that we revere is the default channel for our thoughts, our minds. It's what keeps us going in that direction. What do you revere? Do you revere all of life? All of it? Even the inanimate? Do you revere all people? Can you totally revere all of life? Even the evildoers? Even the dumb people? Even the mean people? Even the greedy people? If we could totally revere all of that, then we would really be relevant for the Advent. Can we be ready for the advent of that much love in our lives? So today is the first day of Advent. And there's the opportunity, as Thomas will review in our slides later, to gather online after service with Mavis and light your Advent candle and discuss the meaning of the season with others. To me, I think that we can apply this idea to hope, which is the focus of the first week of Advent. We light our candle for hope. And this whole idea we can apply to hope, just like we did the rules and the ethics. Sometimes we downgrade hope. Do you ever notice that? We downgrade it by saying what it is, what we're hoping for. You know, it limits it, it restricts it. Sometimes we downgrade our hope. When I think of hope, I automatically link it to something or some experience. What am I hoping for? But is it possible to just hope? Just maintain an attitude of hope? It's the same with prayer. Are we always praying for something? Or can we just live in an attitude of prayer, an essence of prayer, a state of reverence, a state of prayer, a state of hope? Do we have to limit it to things? I recall my very first experience of visiting the Victoria Truth Center back in the early 1980s. And I don't remember the talk at all. What I remember is the minister defined hope as confident expectation. And that was life-changing for me, Because to me, hope always had a sort of negative connotation. It was synonymous with yearning or longing for something. And I'd never, all the things I'd yearned for, never really thought that they might come about. So for me, hope was, well, I hope so, but it's probably not going to be. But now to think of hope as confident expectation sounds more to me like faith, which Charles Fillmore called the substance of things unseen. Substance. So let's define substance. The real physical matter of which a person or thing consists and which has a tangible, solid presence. Can you believe that invisible things have a real physical matter that has a tangible, solid presence? Even if you can't see it? Can you go so far as to believe that it's there? It's just as real as what we can see? That's faith. That's hope. That's confident expectation. So as we enter this week of hope, the first week of Advent again meaning coming towards, can we live in a state of confident expectation? Of what? Well, to traditional Christians, is the confident expectation of the coming of the God-man, Jesus, into the world. It's either remembering his birthday or looking forward to his second coming, right? To us, it refers to the confident expectation of the reigniting of the spark of divinity in each of us, in our consciousness, in our essence. So again, that's what to us Christ means, the Christ coming alive in each and every one of us. So in addition to learning new songs, I asked Joshua to bookend our meditation this morning with 2 new songs. You may have heard about them. You may have heard them before. I don't think we've sung them here, but both about hope. So I invite you to listen, sing if you like, or just allow yourself to gradually move into meditation when you're ready.
The seed, an apple tree, in cocoons a hidden promise. Butterflies will soon be free. In the cold and snow of winter, there's a spring that waits to be unrevealed until its season, something God alone can see. There's a song in every silence, seeking word and melody. There's a dawn in every darkness, bringing hope to you and me. From the past will come the future, what it holds a mystery, unrevealed until its season, something God alone can see. Our beginning, in our time infinity, in our doubt there is believing, in our life eternity, in our death the resurrection, at the last a victory, unrevealed until its season, something God alone can see. Until its season, something God alone can see.
You now to relax into the silence. Just allow your physicality to be. And turning within to your essence. And knowing the reality of the invisible. knowing the substance of all that you desire. All that you desire to receive, all that you desire to give, all that you desire to see in our world. Knowing that despite appearances, there is always love. There is always peace. There is always abundance. There is always joy. And remembering that these things are brought into our experience by our attention and our intention. And so we turn our attention to that Christ power within us, that divinity within us as creators. And so it is with hope, with confident expectation, that we move forward every step of our lives from our essence, reverence for all of life. And we know and we remind ourselves that the universe is unfolding exactly as it should. And so, Amen.
Soft as the voice of an angel, breathing a lesson unheard. Hope with a gentle persuasion whispers her comforting word. Wait till the darkness is over. Wait till the tempest is done. Hope for the sunshine tomorrow after the shower is gone. Whispering hope, oh how welcome thy voice, making my heart in its sorrow rejoice. If in the dusk of the twilight, breathing a... Oh, sorry, hang on one more time. There we go. If in the dusk of the twilight, dim be the region afar, will not the deepening darkness brighten the glimmering star? Then when the night is upon us, why should the heart sing away? When the dark midnight is over, another new song that I've had the pleasure of learning this week. Thank you so much, by the way, for being so game to learn all this with me. If you can't tell, it's very collaborative. I'm also learning these songs, so this is great. This is really fun. This is a song called "The Answer" by Eddie Watkins Jr. It's another one that's kind of from the Unity canon as well, so if you recognize it, feel free to sing along. It's super groovy. I like it a lot. Here we all are, gathered together in this place. Why are we here? What is our purpose? Spirit reveal. How do we know what's true and what's real? We may not know where life's road will lead, but it doesn't matter as long as we believe that God is the answer. God is the answer. God is the answer to whatever the question may be. What's going on in this world today? Where do we fit? What can we do to make a difference? What can we say? Where do we go? This way or that way? If we all pray and truly believe and love one another, we'll let the world see that God is the answer. God is the answer. God is the answer to whatever the question may be. 'Cause we may not know where life's road will lead, but it doesn't matter as long as we believe that God is the answer. Yes, it is. God is the answer. Oh, God is the answer to whatever the question may be. You want to take one? Let's do it. Ready? God is the answer. God is the answer. Oh, God is the answer. Just you got this. Beautiful, yes. God is the answer to whatever the question may be. 'Cause God is the answer. God is the answer. God is the answer to whatever the question may be. Beautiful, thank you.
Thank you. Thanks, Joshua. Thank you, Reverend Minister. Coming up, good stuff to do. And as Reverend Patricia mentioned, it's always, when all of a sudden in the middle of her talk, I hear Thomas will be, I'm like, what? What will did I miss something? But apparently I'm going to let you know about this after-service fellowship, which will be every Sunday through Advent. And in our newsletter is the meeting ID, and it's also here on your screen, and it's right after service. Spirit groups, Intention Circle, Sundays at 2 o'clock here at the center in Nanaimo, hosted by Yvonne Play, and that begins today at 2 o'clock and then is every second week, is that correct? Yes. Every second week after that. Advent 2022 discussion group, Wednesday, November 23rd to December 21st. It's at 3 p.m., 2 p.m. Eastern Time, 1 p.m. Central Time, noon Mountain Time. Okay. It's up there. Whatever that says. Join us for that, for discussion of the daily and weekly readings, creating your own Christmas of light and peace. And that's from Unity Canada, or is that? Yes, okay, so that's a Unity Canada event. Great. And Unity Canada also presents From Privilege to Power, a personal growth workshop. That is Thursday, December 1st, 11 till 2. So that is this week. Wow, already December.
Tell them not to worry about the love offering. Just let me know if they want to.
Okay. Don't worry about the love offering. Just let us know if you want to join in. Yes, okay. In Victoria, Monday Magic at the Met on Balmoral in room 119. That's Monday, December 5th at 1 p.m. is Prayer Circle. And December 12th at 1 p.m. is the Christmas Craft and Social. And is there anybody to get in contact with to join that? No? Okay, just show up. Just show up. That's what you need to do. Unity Vancouver Island in Victoria, also Monday, December 19th, Christmas 12 Power Candle Lighting Service. 6:30 is the sing-along with Michael Drizzlane on piano, and 7 p.m. is the service begins, and that is at the Oaklands Community Center.
No.
Sorry, let's go back. There will be no in-person service at Oaklands Community Center this month.
So this is also at the Metro Hall.
Yes, okay, this is also at the Met. My apologies. And What's Up Unity, your monthly update and feedback form is Tuesday, December 6th at 7 p.m. That's not this coming week, but the following week. And you can find that in the newsletter, and the meeting ID is on the screen. And we welcome everybody to come along and share what they want to, either they want to get an update, or if they have some thoughts to share about the direction of Unity Vancouver Island, that would be great. Mini Craft Fair is Saturday, December 10th, 1 to 5 p.m. And that is here? Yes, that is here in Nanaimo in this building. Ongoing events here in Nanaimo is also the second and fourth Tuesdays at 11 is the Prayer Circle. Sorry, this is at Comox. Oof, there's a lot of stuff here. Second and fourth Tuesdays at 11 is the Prayer Circle in Comox. Seated Tai Chi is here in Nanaimo Tuesdays at 10. A Course in Miracles is here in Nanaimo Thursdays at 10:30. And the first and third Fridays at 6:30 is Board Games Night in Nanaimo. And you can find all of this at unityvancouverisland.com. And of course, in Unity we thrive, and so thank you to everybody here, and thank you to everybody joining us online, either live or watching the recording, for all of your wonderful treasures, your donations, your time, your energy, your spirit. It's truly a blessing for all of us. Thank you. And gratitude to the persons or person with great button-pushing ability who will volunteer to sit by Marie and advance the slides. Yes, we are adding another. Well, first of all, thank you, Marie. So let's give acknowledgement to Marie for everything she does. But yes, we do need, we are requesting a second person to manage the slides that will feed the screens here at Unity, so that she's not having to do as many steps as she takes care of. So please let Reverend Patricia know, or any board member, or just raise your hand, and we'll we'll come and speak to you. Yes, and to be clear, this is not pushing other people's buttons. It is. And let's welcome our kids as they join us. Awesome. And we'll also, I'll thank Tatum for stepping in today, as Brooke was unavailable this morning. And come on up, show us what you got. Oh, we made buttons. Nice. And join me for our children's blessing. We see the divine light shining as you. We love and appreciate you exactly the way you are. And for anybody present today, Don is in the prayer room after service today, and he will be happy to join you in prayer. And join us for the prayer for protection. The light that is God surrounds us. We are one with the light. The love that is God enfolds us. We are one with the love. The power that is God protects us. We are one with the power. The presence that is God watches over us. We are one with the presence. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. And so it is. Amen.